Hey guys, it's your boy Cody7th. Today I am back with another video. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to create UK drill cover art using Photoshop. And if you don't have Photoshop, I'll be making more tutorials on how to create cover art without Photoshop. So this is a cover art that I've created which is based on the genre of UK drill. And I'm going to break down how I created this, and if you understand how to use Photoshop, then you'll be able to follow my lead. The main elements I guess, which is very important when creating UK drill cover art, is the font, the background, and the colors. Mainly you want some sort of dark colors, so I'm guessing about black, red, or even can be any color, but make sure it's dark and stuff like that. And then if you want to use your own photo, that's possible as well, but this one here is like, it's almost like no face no case type of thing. So let's break it down from the top to the bottom, or from the bottom to the top. So I'm gonna unmute all the, not unmute, but the first thing, of course, when you open up a new project in Photoshop, you want to go to File, New, and usually what I do, I create a new document which is 3000 pixels with the width and at the height. And then after, you can just resolution select 72. Once you create that, you get like a new page like this. You want to use 3000 by 3000 because when you upload your photos or the cover art on streaming services, the minimum requirement is 3000 by 3000. That way it packs a lot of resolution and it's high quality instead of getting a pixelated image, because a lot of stores would not accept that at all. First thing I did, of course, was had an image. This is the image I used. Okay, say for example you want to go on Google and search up gangs. Yeah, so if you go to Google and search up gangs, you can see that there's a lot of images here. But preferably, if you want to use your own image, that'll probably be the best option to do. The raw image I started out with was this. And this is the raw image I started out with. Then I added an effect, which just blurs out the people's faces. This effect here is an overlay effect, which just makes the photo dark and adds some noise and some cool scratch effects, etc. Then I added a brightness and contrast effect, which basically I want to increase the contrast and decrease the brightness so I can't see any of the faces. Then I added another overlay effect. This overlay effect, you can see without it, like that, it's just like a cool effect. So you can get these. I'll be making a graphics template so that you guys can easily make your own cover art easily with and without Photoshop. Then after that, I compiled it and then it became into this. Then I added some noise. As you can see, the difference between this and this one, I just added some noise. Then I added this blurry bit here. All I did to that is to duplicate this layer here and then cut it out. So make like a cutout. So use this marquee tool here, or this selection box, Control C, Control V, you paste it. So you paste that section there. So that's what I did. If you understand Photoshop, you probably understand what I'm going at. Then after that, I pressed filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and then I just blurred that out a little bit. And that's how I created that bit. The reason why I did that, actually I didn't use the Gaussian blur, I think I used a fast blur, but the reason why I did that, so I can, when I put the text in now, it's easier to see the text. So let's go back. Okay, so let's go. Then I added another effect. These are light leaks. There's something called light leaks. So these are just overlay effects. And then when you put those effects on, you want to put on hard light or some sort of overlay light here. And then bring the opacity a bit down. I added some hue and saturation to get more of that red effect. I didn't want it to be just plain, so I added some more effect. Then I added more brightness and contrast so that we can barely see the people there. I added a lot of contrast and reduced the brightness. And then the main text comes into play. So the main text, of course, is this. It says Music X VI because it's just a template I created. And then it says back to back. Okay, so the font used, the main important thing is the font. Let's go to the main text. Okay, so back to back. So back to back. This is the font I use. The font I use is Midnight Moon. So to find fonts, usually I go to a website called The Font. And then you can just search a lot of fonts. Main thing for drill, you want to look at the Gothic side of things. So look at Gothic and just look at, yeah. So the one I'm using here is Midnight Moon. So this is the font. And remember, just go to thefont.com or search any fonts and then just use some sort of drillish type of font. After that, I use the same font also with the back to back. It depends on what your song is called or the track is called. And then after, you just want to make it look nice. And I made the two larger than the back to back in that sense there. And then I put my whoever the artist name, you can just put it there. Say, for example, your artist name is, I don't know, you can just edit that like that. So yeah, I'll be making more presets and templates for that you guys can download. Then you can just put your own artist names and simply change it. And then on the actual, because if you think about it, these are effects. So really and truly, it looks something like this. Hold on. It looks something like this. You can't really see it right now. Let me just go to blending options anyway. And then just show you how it looks like quickly without all these effects on it. So usually if it's white, this is like with the white font now. So this is how it looks like. Then eventually I started adding more effects. I added first a bevel and emboss. this is that type of effect. You can just see it because it's all visual, so you can see. It's different from mixing because mixing you can hear, but this is visual, so you can see it. Then I added a stroke effect, which is a white thing. So let me take off the color, the white overlay. So bevel and emboss, it looks like this. Stroke, I added like a white stroke, and then I added a satin effect, just like. And then I added outer glow, so it glows outwardly. Then I added a drop shadow, and that's basically it for the main effect, main text. Then I added some more brightness and contrast because we need to be brightening up the image. It's too dark. So without it, with it, that's what I added there. Then I added a rectangle triangle up here, just so I can show my, because what I'm gonna put up there is cover made by Call the 7th. It's like a producer tag. Yeah. So I just put my stuff there, and then I added this restricted logo, or you can put. So you can search on Google, just search parental advisory. You can use one of these ones. Should be free to use because I think you can just download it. Once you download it, bring it into Photoshop, and you can bring it like just like this. And then instead of using this restricted one, you can use this parental advisory one, and then just bring it down wherever you want to put it. Usually I put it on the bottom because it's quite symmetrical. And then you can just leave it like that. And then of course you can actually just go to the play with the blending options and just change it slightly. You can make it black and white like that. That looks okay. And then yeah, I like to make mine smaller. Like that. And then yeah, and that's the whole, not track. I keep saying track. I'm acting as if it's mixing, but it's not. But you can either have that or that you can have this restricted one. But I like the look of this one here. It looks a bit better. So that is that, and that's how I made that. I've got some other examples also. So this is another example of something more cleaner. Then of course I've got another example here. This is another example. Let me strip it down again, so you can see the comparison from how it looks like from the get-go and how it looks like from the start. And then just like that. You can also just reduce the size of the font, etc. For example, if this is too big, you can just reduce it, or you can place it here and whatnot and stuff like that. So that is basically the video. It's more like a breakdown and an introduction to cover art as a whole, because I'm not too sure if anybody understands this type of stuff and stuff like that, but it's more like an introduction to it. I'll be providing some templates as also and easier ways to actually edit. So ideally you will need a computer if you want to make it the best, a laptop or a computer. But in the event that you're unable to create your own cover art such and so, you can contact me via Instagram at Call the 7th or the Music VRI, or you can email me at themusicvri@gmail.com, and then you can contact me for custom cover arts, and I'll give you a quote. And I'll give you a quote depending on the type of cover art itself. I can also do a lot of 3D graphics, but I'll be doing more videos on how to create cover art, etc., and how to actually post your music on commercial sites, for example, such as Spotify, Apple Music, all that type of stuff, SoundCloud. So everything music related, to be honest. I'm going to cover all the technicalities revolving around music production, designing covers for music and such and so. So more videos on actually designing UK drill cover art posters and anything graphic designing related. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.